Hey Virgos, hope you guys are doing well. Let's go ahead and get into your reading for this series. I'm doing a surrender series where we're basically doing timeless readings, so whenever you come across this, it is meant for you. We're doing an overall look into energy, we're getting some challenge messages as well as guidance, and then at the end we're going to pull a surrender message from my surrender deck to tie it into a nutshell, and that will also be the title of the reading for you guys. So let's get right into it. Check your sun, moon, and rising signs. But remember, everyone has a placement in each zodiac sign, so it will resonate differently for everyone. The messages may not resonate the exact same way that it does for one person to the next. Remember that this is a collective reading, it's a general read, so take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Don't force it to fit. You will know if the message is for you. All right? And then all my links are down below for donations, for booking services, products, all of that. And then, pardon my little pup here in the background. She might come in and out or bark. I had to get to these readings. Now, let's get into it. I will mention one thing as I feel more into your energy, though, Virgo. I could not help but literally, I will show y'all. I'm not joking. I had to go through and make 6 or 7 pages of things that I had to finish and do. I had to get it all out on paper and write it out with actual checklists, boxes that I can check off as I do them before I did your reading. So y'all seem to be in this very Virgo-like energy of organizing, having structure, routine, making sure you hold yourself accountable. That kind of thing is very prevalent in your energy, and I'm not surprised. That's exactly what I'm doing right before your reading. I could not get my mind right before hitting record. I literally couldn't. I took 30 to 40 minutes to make that list, and then here I am now. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Overall energy for Virgos, for whenever they come across this, we have the Hierophant. Doing things the conventional way. First thing coming out here. Many of you may feel that you need more structure in your life in a conventional way. Maybe this means going back to school and making career changes. I don't know why that's coming through very strongly here. Going back to school, doing things the textbook way is kind of also what I'm picking up on here. With this, we have the Empress card. So this may have to do with just nourishing and nurturing and nourishing yourself in a way where you thrive. And that structure, that routine, that textbook way of doing things sometimes is your bread and butter, is what you can fall back on in order to nourish yourself, better. At least right now is what you're feeling. Correct me if I'm wrong. Many of you are also wanting this little soft era. You want your soft era so bad that you've forgotten what it means to actually be soft. I feel like coming back into your feminine energy is in focus for you guys right now. Not having to have this toxic productivity, but having that structure will allow you to be more feminine, because then you know when to stop and clock out, whether it's mentally or literally. Interesting. But also, you guys are in this energy of receiving. You're opening up more to receiving, and with the red between both of the red here and then the red here, and then the pomegranates, the roses, the flowers, it's giving me in a material way as well. It's very root chakra survival mode, trying to move out of that way. How can I change the core of my survival so I can start thriving instead of just surviving? Interesting. Overall energy for Virgos, please. You guys are just open to receive. And you guys understand that it might take some time, but you guys are being patient about it. You might need to wait a little longer to really get the tangible results. Because remember I said I think it's in a material way. This may be very true for you guys, especially if it's monetary, guys. This is like your confirmation. Like, it'll take some time, but it's coming. It's worth it. Just a little bit longer. Hang on just a bit longer, right? Now, when it comes to, like, pentacles don't always necessarily mean just money. It can also mean something of value, right? And this paired with the Empress and then working towards something in an the conventional way, excuse me, it does tell me that this also could mean something that you're working towards, and this could just be, you know, softening. It doesn't have to be a physical result or thing. It can also just be a spiritual movement and shift within yourself. It can be a state of mind that you're transitioning into, the healing that you're doing emotionally. It does not matter what it is. It's happening and it's of value and you're chipping away and it's working. I do see you embodying more of this Empress energy each day that goes by. And so instead of looking back and thinking, oh my God, it's been so long, I think I want you to really look at yourself now compared to where you were, instead of like, okay, this is how much time has passed. Instead of focusing on that, I want you guys to really be like, this is where I started and this is where I am, and I'm freaking proud of myself. That's really where you need to be. That's how you can stay in this Empress energy versus this Seven of Pentacles energy. Okay, let's get some challenges. Yeah, so there's, for a lot of you guys, the healing and the mental shift and the spiritual shift is going to be hitting home for y'all. So the challenge is that there are some past pains and wounds that you're still working through. And like I said, past, right? It's not that it's prevalent, excuse me, now. It's just that there are triggers around it now. And you're juggling a lot. So the reason why you need that structure, right, to thrive is so that you stop over-functioning, over-exerting, over-giving, over-compensating, so that you have the time to stop juggling so much and really start your healing process. Because I feel what's been happening, correct me if I'm wrong, this won't be for everyone, is that there's been a lot of busy and distractions and busy work and all of that. Work, responsibilities, relationships, socializing, like all of that has been taking priority, when in reality, this should be addressed through this. And that's why that structure is so needed right now. And you realize that. That's the thing. You're cognizant that this can be a resolution. Because I think it's worked for you in the past before, you see. And so you're like, okay, let me kind of get back to that place. Because I know what I thrive off of. I know what helps me show up as my best self for myself and for others. Right? Because it does have to do with wounds and stuff like that, but also has to do with how you kind of show up in relationships, right? I know it's the swords that we're talking about here, so it's kind of like staying in your own head about things that have happened in the past, but we do have a heart. It is heartbreak. That's an emotional thing, and that usually is inflicted by other people or with other people by ourselves, right? So the last card being the Death card, right? It doesn't necessarily have to mean an all ends here thing, like a full stop. It also can mean, and usually means, transformation. Because nothing really dies, right? It just transfers. The energy transmutes into something else. And so viewing it from that standpoint is going to really help you. There's something off note here that many of you might be struggling with when it comes to letting go of something or someone or a way of being or a mentality. And it really might have to do with this. For some of you. For some of you, it ties directly to this. You're not letting it go completely. It does not invalidate that it happened. It does not invalidate how you feel. It does not invalidate who you are because of it. But what it will do is loosen the grip that it has on your reality today that it doesn't need to have anymore. Ooh, I see lots of breakthroughs and leveling up for you guys. Because, I mean, we have 6 cards here, 2 of them being pentacles, 1 of them being a past wound, but 3 of them really being major arcana. So major arcana is really like things that happens behind the scenes and like by the divine hand, if you will, right? Half of the cards are destiny and fate at play here. And so I'm really excited to see what the guidance is for you guys here. So let's get into it. Page of Wands. So you guys will be feeling a spark. This could be work related. This could be new inspiration. This could be a new love interest for some of you. And for some of you, if you are coupled, this could be a new spark between you two. Things being new again. Fresh start energy here. But it also could be a new project, a new idea that you want to implement because you feel so fired up about it, right? We have the Wands, fire energy. Tangible results that come from it, by the way. I like it. Using that, once again, that red, that flame on that hat there is really kind of giving me this. It's kind of making me think back to this energy here, right? I was picking up on that red so much, right? That passion, that material, that root chakra energy, that material that I kept picking up on, that comes from this feminine energy. It's like this is that card that's between here. This is where that soft feminine energy that's inspired and moved by how you feel and intuition and creativity meets with the conventional structure way of doing things. This is where I think you're going to thrive. So this is your guidance. Strike a balance between these two, and when you feel it, do it. Don't sit back on it any longer. There's an idea that many of you have been hesitant on, and this is your green light. Move forward with it. That won't be for everyone, but for a lot of you, you guys know what you want to do. You guys know what your resolution is. You guys know what makes you feel good and what you want to kind of get after, but you've been reluctant, and this is your green light for that. Guidance for Virgo placements, please. 7 of Wands, don't back down. Don't back down. I think the reason why many of you are reluctant to fight for the thing that you want, whether this is a relationship, a job, your dream job, kind of like a vision board here is kind of what I'm picking up on too with that being said, or this new version of yourself, letting that old version of yourself die, giving birth to this new version of you, who you want to be, that new step forward, kind of coming into this new Gregorian calendar new year, whatever you want to call it, right? Like, you're holding yourself back, and you will come on top if you just take that leap of faith. You have the inspiration, you have the divine backing you. The only thing getting in the way now is you, so don't self-sabotage any longer, okay? Guidance, nope. Guidance for Virgo placements, please. Last card. Four of Pentacles. So we do have Wands and Pentacles very prevalent here. Interesting. I think a huge lesson that you guys are integrating is between these two cards right on top of each other. What to let go of and what to hold on to. I'm going to get one more clarifier with this, honestly. Yeah, it's exactly that. Bottom of the deck being the 9 of Swords. We're going to get the top of the deck for a little bit more clarity here. 3 of Cups. I think you guys are learning. Your eyes are opening what it means to let go of something, to forgive, even if this means yourself and not anyone else or anyone in particular, right? I think it does have to do with that, obviously, but you're also realizing a lot of self-truths recently. And that's why you're at this crossroads, right? Where you're like, okay, I can either let go and move on and let this help me level up in my own life, or I can keep holding on to it and keep going through the same thing that I've been going through and then keep complaining and then keep being imbalanced and unrest, right? That Four of Wands or Four of Swords that did pop up, right? Kind of coming back to my third eye here. So you're realizing that you have a choice on what you want to hold on to. The good things that came from it and the good things that you have that you have to look forward to, which is this Three of Cups here. The connections that you have now. Here's the thing. The thing that happened in your past, I feel, really showed you who your people were, right? It really showed you who you were, but I feel like it really showed you who your people were. And so you need to hang on tight to them. Not like suffocating tight, but don't let go of them. But also, don't look back at this time period of your life with only a negative lens. No one's saying have rose-colored glasses. I don't know why I can't articulate right now. Sorry, guys. I think it's because it really chokes you up. Whatever this is, it really chokes you up. It really gets to you. Sometimes you really literally can't put it into words. That's how deeply it affected you and impacted you, and that's okay. But you don't need to choose to be in this any longer. This power that you're giving away to this past situation that already transpired and does not have to exist in your reality anymore. I'm not talking about being delulu. I'm talking about literally wake up. You're not there anymore. Remind yourself. Check your 5 senses. Do a little meditation. Chant a mantra. Do what you gotta do to remind yourself you are not there anymore. Because it's keeping you up at night and it's not doing anyone any good. Forget about anyone else, right? It's not doing you any good. It's not doing anyone else any good either. And I will tell you, this red, prevalent from the first card to the last. You can be happy again in a material way. You can feel safe in your skin. You can feel safe in your relationships. You can have this happiness again. And it doesn't have to be one or the other. That's a very specific channel message for someone. I don't know who that will be for, but that's for someone. You will know if it's for you. Oh yeah. I'm having like a whole body thing right now. I'm just going to take a sip of water before we get the surrender message here and close out the reading. And I suggest y'all do the same. There's so much you guys are processing and integrating. It's like so many things are kind of just becoming apparent to you guys that it's like, okay, like give me a second, universe. Like, I know there's stuff I have to deal with, but like I'm trying. It's kind of what I'm picking up on. But I feel like there's going to be, or if it already hasn't happened, a point in your journey, right, where this Two of Pentacles is really catching my eye, where it's like you're kind of forced. Like you keep going back and forth, but you're being thrown more things. Burp confirmation, I will take that. Thank you, Spirit. You're being thrown more things right now and you're taking on more things. And I think it's in order to kind of shove you into a corner where you have to pick between old and new, right? Think of it that way. Like if you want this, then you can't keep doing this. And you have to pick. Surrender message with a direct message, please, as the title of this reading for Virgos, as well as to put everything into a nutshell. And a little bit more guidance. Virgos, please. For Virgos. We already did have this come out for someone else. I don't remember who off the top of my head right now, but we're going to pull another one and we will take this as a message for sure, but we'll use the other one as a title. So we have surrender to setting limits. It is healthy to set boundaries in relationships. Practice expressing your needs and remember that no is a complete sentence. So this is kind of reminding you, like, you know who your people are. There are some relationships that may have been strained along the way for whatever reason, but practicing boundaries and knowing what works for you, how much you can fill into other people's cups after you fill your own. These are like important themes in your life right now. And your people are not going to go anywhere. If they're truly aligned with you, they will understand, they will have empathy and compassion, and they will work with you. But it's also about boundaries with yourself, right? I don't think this is just have to do with like other people, because remember, toxic productivity, overextending, those kind of boundaries also are implied here. Ooh, surrender your addictions. That's interesting. Okay. Wow. Yeah. So, you know what I'm picking up on? When there's so much crap that goes down in our life, sometimes we get used to it. And it's a really fucked up thing, pardon my language. But like, our nervous systems become used to this constant high and low with our adrenaline and cortisol levels. And so if you were in a chronic situation where like it was stressful, like chaotic and hectic all the time, your nervous system kind of got used to it being that way. And so now, to kind of be in the soft area, you have to give all that up. And a part of you became addicted to it. And so you're needing to shed that away now, consciously and subconsciously. The direct message, however, for some of you this is going to resonate. Whether you're addicted to substances, food, people, sex, or overworking, take action to begin to heal the addiction and replace it with healthier alternatives. So that's where this Hierophant and this Empress really come in, right? It's replacing it with the structure that you know you do thrive in, instead of this was thrust upon me and now I have to deal with it. No, you don't. There are certain things that, yes, you have no control over. You kind of just have to adapt to and work with. But for the majority, you have a say in what you're going to partake in and what you're going to take on as a responsibility. And how to, I should be a little bit more detailed, right? How that you take on that responsibility is entirely up to you. And how easy it is also kind of a choice, but that's a whole nother conversation that I feel many of y'all may not be ready for, so I'm going to shut it and we're going to wrap this up. Let me know in the comments down below how these messages resonate, and if they do, tag a friend, share this with a loved one if you feel called to. My donations are open down below, and make sure, like I said before, check your other placements for more clarity and insight. I love you guys. You got this. Bye.